Is smart money front-running VeChain and heavily investing into this project ahead of the next crypto bull market? And should you be doing the same? The VET coin has been around since 2015 and did really well during the 2021 bull market, reaching an all-time high value of 25 cents. But as we all know, the crypto landscape has changed since then. I want to know if VeChain can still stack up against its new competitors and provide a suitable opportunity to park investment funds for a decent return. Can it get back up to those all-time high levels of 25 cents? Or even go beyond it? So to evaluate the project, as you should do, I have been through VeChain's latest white paper, its website, its history, its tokenomics, and price analysis to save you potentially hours of time in your decision on whether to place your investment capital into this project. All that I ask for in return is that you hit the like button down below, and if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. Let's dive in to the world of VeChain. So what is the mission of VeChain? Well, it's evolved over the years. We're talking about a project that's been around since 2015, and a lot has changed along the way. Therefore, VeChain has tried to change with it. With that being said, it still has one fundamental purpose that underlies everything, and that is to increase the efficiency and reliability of supply chain logistics. It's always been a blockchain that's been focused on enterprise and business operations. Initially, that focus was on traceability, and then it has expanded to encapsulate other enterprise applications. This includes expanding to a wide range of supply chain logistics, including supply chain transparency for food safety and pharmaceuticals, and also anti-counterfeiting. And by providing an answer to problems such as supply chain transparency and anti-counterfeiting, it can save companies all around the world billions of dollars per year. A few examples of companies that have already partnered with VeChain include the likes of Walmart, BMW, H&M, DHL, PwC, huge names, a pretty solid lineup. Finally, before we jump into the underlying technology, it's also worth mentioning that alongside the supply chain logistics focus, VeChain's layer 1 can now also be used for all of the other usual things that you would expect out of a layer 1, so DeFi, NFTs, decentralized applications. As we can see from VeChain's official Twitter page, VeChain Thor, which is the name of the layer 1 blockchain, is a leading enterprise-grade layer 1 public blockchain spearheading a digital revolution from a sustainable, highly scalable smart contract platform. It hasn't been leveraged that much for other types of smart contract decentralized applications, but maybe it will be in the future. And part of that maybe comes from the underlying technology, which we will look at now. There are a few things that shouldn't be overlooked when it comes to VeChain's underlying technology. So VeChain's blockchain is called VeChain Thor, and it leverages a proof of authority consensus mechanism. That's the first point to remember. This means that unlike proof of work, where computing power is sacrificed, and unlike proof of stake, where cryptos are locked away, proof of authority relies on 101 globally distributed authority masternodes to secure the network. And these masternodes are chosen by the VeChain Foundation. We'll loop back to this point a little later on in the video. Other points to note are that the blockchain is highly scalable. It's got over 2 million active wallet addresses and has completed over 49 million transactions to date. Other standout points include that the blockchain is highly sustainable. It markets itself as this low carbon option. The fact that the blockchain only relies on these 101 authority masternodes means that the blockchain is incredibly green, which is a big tick from an ESG point of view. On their website, it states that the power required by the 101 masternodes over the course of a year is the same as the fuel required to power one car for a whole year. The vision for VeChain started back in 2015 with this man, Mr. Sunny Liu, who previously worked for Louis Vuitton. After launching on Ethereum with a focus on authenticating luxury goods, the project continued to grow and eventually migrated across to its own blockchain, VeChain Thor. And this is where things can get a little confusing with this project, because around the same time that this transition happened across to their own native blockchain, a new cryptocurrency appeared within the VeChain ecosystem called VeChain Thor, ticker symbol VTHO. Yep, so VeChain is actually a two-token ecosystem. What are these two tokens used for? Well, VET, V-E-T, is the ecosystem's utility coin. In the words of VeChain's Chief Technology Officer, Antonio Senator,
and we call it smart money. It's a way of giving value to things on the protocol. Let's say you want to buy an NFT, or you want to buy a true piece of art. We have a marketplace called World of B, for instance, that sells art, and you use that to buy. So it's a way to buy things, and it's a way to define value. things.
So VET, V-E-T, is the token used for wealth transfer in the ecosystem. And then we have VeChain Thor, this VTHO. Going back to Antonio on this one.
The second token is called VTHO, and it's our gas, effectively. It's our petrol, I call it sometimes. It's our energy. The way it works is that by holding VET, you're going to generate also VTHO on your wallet at the end of each block. And this VTHO can be used to run transactions, to pay for the gas fee, effectively.
So while VET is the utility token, VTHOR is the token used to pay for all of the transactions on the blockchain. And why has the project created another token? Well, it wants the blockchain to be leveraged by enterprises all over the world. And enterprises need to have stable operational costs. Antonio explains this really well in his video, and he says that if a business has factored in a blockchain operational cost of, say, $500,000, and suddenly the price of that token used for transactions spikes, the cost will increase exponentially. Say it increases to $5 million. Enterprises and businesses around the world can't adjust for changes in operational costs like that. And that is why the VTHOR token was introduced, to keep operational costs stable. Now that we know and can appreciate the relationship between VET and VTHOR, and also how the two relate to the wider VeChain ecosystem, let's have a look at the tokenomics. As we've just discussed, the associated coins of VeChain are VET and VTHOR, but VET is the coin that you would invest in to gain exposure to the VeChain project. Now, the price of VET is just sitting below 2 cents, and its market cap is just over 1.2 billion, which places it in the mid-cap range. The maximum supply of coins is fixed at 86.7 billion, and 83% of those are currently in circulation. That means that there are only 16% of coins left to hit the market. So in terms of dilution for VeChain and VET, dilution shouldn't be too much of an issue. However, when we jump across to Messari.io, we can see that since it peaked in April of 2021, there has been a big jump in supply up to 72.71 billion. So this means that the coin will need to draw a higher demand, a higher level of liquidity and interest in order to get back to those all-time high levels of 25 cents. And this leads me to my first risk with VeChain. The first risk is that VeChain is in the category of altcoins that has already enjoyed a crypto bull run. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you'll know that I'm a believer in the fact that it tends to be newer projects that rally the hardest during bull markets. Now, that's not to say that VeChain won't get back to all-time highs. I think it stands a really good chance, but with the extra supply and the fact that the excitement behind the project might not be as high for this project when compared to others, it is a risk we need to consider. Secondly, we need to loop back around to that proof of authority consensus mechanism that VeChain's blockchain implements. As I mentioned earlier, with proof of authority, there are only 101 authority masternodes that control the network. And these are chosen and handpicked by VeChain themselves. So not only are there a fewer number of nodes making up the network, but those nodes are also chosen by the VeChain Foundation or organization behind the project. Therefore, the network is heavily centralized. Now, while this offers other blockchain advantages, if you're investing in the VET coin, you need to be aware that it is a relatively centralized network. It's not necessarily a risk, but it's a very different prospect when compared to investing in something like a Bitcoin or an Ethereum. Finally, there is a risk that businesses need to get on board with the idea of using a public blockchain for supply chain logistics. Data is verifiable on public blockchains. People can go digging. However, many businesses might not like that idea, which could ultimately hinder adoption. Many might prefer to use a private blockchain, and there are many options out there to choose from. So we come to my closing thoughts, the important part. What are my overall thoughts on VeChain and VET? Should this be a cryptocurrency that you have in your investment watchlist pile, or should it be one to avoid? And I'm really split. The problem that VeChain solves is so real, so tangible, that I think adoption is just a matter of time. It will likely be one of these projects that's implemented in the background of supply chain logistics without the general population ever really knowing. And based on that alone, I think it probably will reach all-time highs again. By the way, if you'd like me to do a price prediction for VeChain, let me know in the comments. If you have enjoyed this video and you want more detailed crypto insights, I would love to have you as a subscriber on my free weekly 80/20 crypto newsletter. The vision with the newsletter is to provide as much value per word as possible and onboard the next 1 million users into the world of crypto. It would be amazing if you could join me on this journey, and I'll leave a link to the newsletter down in the description below. And as always, don't put more money into a cryptocurrency project than you can afford to lose. These are speculative investments. Crypto is not a get-rich-quick scheme and should be considered alongside a variety of other assets. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.